Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim Zahner with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. Every week we bring you the news of Sonoma Valley. It's, believe it or not, we're recording this in early May, and it's a little bit rainy out there, which is rare in California. But, when things are unusual, new, and novel, it's also interesting, which is related to our guests. Our guests today are from an amazing performing arts venue where they're always bringing in new, novel, and amazing things. You like how I brought the rain right into the... I tied it together.
Great connection.
Thank you.
Connection.
Thank you. So what I'd like to do is introduce our two guests. I know every week I say I'm bringing fabulous guests. They're the best. This time I actually mean it. I really mean this week. And this is the week I mean it. Really amazing guests. So why don't we start with directly in front of me. Introduce yourself and say where you're from.
All right. I'm Andy Shepherd, and I am from Rohnert Park. I actually have the privilege of living right across from the Green Music Center.
Okay, nice.
So
you work there and live there.
That's right. I'm the manager of marketing and communications.
Okay.
And I've been in the area for about 15 or so years,
okay,
give or take.
For people watching on YouTube, it's like since you were 3, because Andy, you do not look...
I just had a birthday. I'm 34.
34, all right. So you're from Rohnert Park, and we're going to find out more about what you do at the Green Music Center. And then sitting to my left and to your right, we have...
Jacob Yarrow. I'm the director of the Green Music Center. I've worked there for about 6 years.
Okay.
I live in Petaluma, California.
Okay, Chickaluma.
That's it. And I'm from Beckley, West Virginia, the heart of the coal fields.
Go Mountaineers.
That's it.
And I've been to West Virginia a few times. I have some family out there. And what I've noticed about West Virginia, someone told me this, they actually have no natural lakes. It's all dammed rivers because it's so mountainous, I guess.
Yep.
That could have been some lying person in the West Virginia tourism department for all I know.
Yeah, I'm not hip to that, but it certainly makes sense. And the lakes that I'm kind of sort of cataloging in my mind right now are definitely product of dams.
Dammed rivers, yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Well, okay, you guys are from the Green Music Center. I was a little disappointed the first time I went. It's not green, so obviously the name is not the color of the building.
It is not. It's kind of a brown, beige music center, I suppose.
Can you tell me, where is this place and what is this place?
Yeah, we're part of Sonoma State University.
Go Sea Wolves.
Go Sea Wolves.
Okay.
And so we are on the corner of the campus of Sonoma State University.
Okay.
In Rohnert Park, California. And the green is not the color of the building, but is the name of Donald and Maureen Green, who made the leadership gift to make it a possible thing.
So it hasn't been there for 100 years.
It's not. We are just at the end of our 10th season.
Okay.
And been celebrating our 10th anniversary all year long.
Oh, great. So 10 years it's been open or doing the seasons and things like that. It's at Sonoma State University itself, an amazing university in Rohnert Park. And one of the CSU's, California State University schools here.
Yeah. We're, in fact, the only public liberal arts and sciences university in the state of California.
Really?
Yep. There are a number of private liberal arts and sciences colleges, but we're the only public, and we're part of an organization called COPLAC, which is the Council of Public Liberal Arts Colleges.
I love that.
But there's about 40 of them that are part of that across the country.
It's called a COPLAC.
Yep.
It sounds like you had someone in the engineering school name it.
It does. It does. Every time I say it, I'm like, this is not catchy. We need to work on on all of that. But it is a really special designation, and it comes through in how special our campus is as well.
So explain to me how, with the Green Music Center, is it part of Sonoma State in the sense that you have a music program and it's just for the kids that perform there, or is it also outside people that come talk there? What's going on?
It is all of that. We are part of Sonoma State. We're a division of Sonoma State, and I'm part of the administrative leadership team at Sonoma State. Like, the president's my boss, so I'm super concerned with how the overall university is operating and how we're doing. And at Green Music Center, the music department, our Department of Music, is housed there. So all the instrument studios are right up by our
students
offices.
And kids that are learning.
Exactly.
It's like you're on a set of Fame. Is that right? Is it just like that?
It is just like a set of Fame.
I don't know what other cultural references I have because I'm not really a musician, but that's about it. But so you have the students learning music.
Yes.
But then you have a whole nother thing, which is like world-class performers. Not that your students aren't world-class.
Yep. No, our students are using that facility all the time. And then we're also presenting our own series of shows that are national and international touring artists.
Okay.
And then we're also home to the Santa Rosa Symphony and Sonoma Bach. So there's a lot of other like regional arts organizations and professional arts organizations that are performing
So you
there.
just pulled a new organization out of nowhere, Sonoma Bach?
Yes.
We have these just Bach aficionados?
It is a Bach choir, if you will. So it's largely, though they do use lots of instruments and do orchestral concerts and organ recitals, but it's built around a core group of singers that particularly are concerned with singing Bach's music.
And they're separate from, that is so amazing.
Yep.
How long have they been around?
They've been around for quite a while, and they kind of grew out of the Sonoma State Music Department. Their artistic director is Bob Worth, who was on the faculty at Sonoma State for a long time and was one of the key figures in dreaming up the Green Music Center. The Greens were in that choir, and part of the early idea was to build a room that was perfect for performing the vocal music of Bach.
Got it.
And then it sort of snowballed into a much bigger project. It is that, and it's this, and it's this, and it's a lot of things.
Well, let's talk about the physical building then. We mentioned you're at Sonoma State, but I've been told it's like being inside of a musical instrument because you have these beautiful bentwood chairs, and it's like acoustically perfect. And someone referenced it as similar to, is it Tanglewood or some other place back east? You're at the very end of my knowledge of Wikipedia. So can you explain a bit about the building and what makes it so special?
Yeah, so that is the part of Green Music Center called Weil Hall. It's the biggest performance room. It's a shoebox style European concert hall. So there are a variety of sort of styles of concert halls, and it's a shoebox style, which just think rectangle, right, with the stage at a short end of the rectangle. And it is patterned after a hall at a couple of different halls, but particularly one at Tanglewood called Ozawa Hall, which the same architect, William Rahn, who's one of the big starchitects in the world, designed for Tanglewood. And then we built one that's a little bit bigger with a little bit of fancier finishes, but is very much styled after Ozawa Hall, which also takes inspiration then from other famous European shoebox style like the Musikverein in Vienna and places like that.
Wait, do the Viennese actually call it a shoebox style auditorium, or is that like is that a real term? Or
That's pretty common. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what I love about it, there's the main seating area, but then there's these really narrow, I don't know what you call them, balconies, but also like side areas. And so like everyone's kind of looking in. And you mentioned the stage is right at the end, but like there's no seat that's far away from the stage. You're all kind of pretty close to the stage, and it's a raked floor, like it slopes, if I remember.
It does.
Good knowledge, yeah.
This, been there once. Okay, maybe twice. But then out the back, the whole back wall opens up. Why is
That's
that,
right.
Mr. Rohnert Park guy?
Well, in the summer, and what we've just announced, we have indoor and outdoor performances. So we open that wall up. The performer is still on stage. We still have people inside and, like you said, on the sides and in the balcony. But you can sit outside as well and experience the performance in a whole new way. We have tables out there, plenty of lawn seating. I think we seat about 3,000 out on the lawn.
Okay.
And so you can bring your beach blankets, have a picnic, and it's really a unique experience.
Okay, so on that, let's get to that since we're already into the, it's going to be June and July soon, and the concerts are going on. What are the tips for successful Green Music Center experience when on the lawn? Like, what do you got to bring? What do you not got to forget? What should you do?
Well, see, that's a good question because I think it's for a lot of different types of people. I have kids, so I'm coming with a big blanket and lots of snacks and food. And you can bring your own non-alcoholic drinks.
You can bring your own.
So I'm bringing juice boxes.
You can picnic.
That's right. Yeah, but that's just one way to do it. A lot of people bring like their whole setup. They have like like a wine and cheese platter. They have like silverware and like a whole thing.
So people bring like wagons from the parking lot and then kind of bring, and they can set up out in the lawn. Is there beer and wine and food for sale on the
Yes,
property?
yeah.
I mean, this being wine country, it must be pretty terrible food and pretty bad wine.
Yes, it's pretty bad, as you can expect from Sonoma County. It's pretty typical that way. Yeah, and we have a wide variety of wines, most of them from very nearby.
Right.
And we work with a lot of wine partners who help to sponsor our shows as well, of course. Very, very important part of our community. And there's also a variety of food options, including some. This summer we're expanding, and some guest food trucks are coming, and it should be so you can both come and buy. You can get a table and have stuff to bring things from there and get a bottle of wine from us and things like that, or you can bring almost all of it except alcohol with you.
Got it. That sounds amazing.
Yep.
On the food, I seem to recall there's also a restaurant on property. Is that open during the summer events, or is that mainly for the winter events?
It is not open as a restaurant, so it's open as a place to buy drinks and snacks.
Got it.
But it doesn't. Since the pandemic, we haven't actually reopened it as a restaurant because of all the variety of reasons that restaurants have had a tough time.
Especially ones that are operating in a concert venue.
Right. Yeah. So it hasn't reopened as a restaurant, but it is opening this summer for actually the first time around our events. As a bar and for snacks, and a great place to sit and
go right there.
hang out.
And what's the name of that place again?
It is called Prelude.
Prelude.
Yep.
Is there a law that everything has to have kind of a musical like gimmick to it? Is that
it's an obscure part of the state code, but a very important one to us. I mean, we actually are the state of California, so we follow the laws to a T.
Right. You guys are. You guys, CSU. Oh gosh, that's a pretty small bureaucracy that you're dealing with.
Exactly.
Well, let's get into the season then. Can you guys tell me what music is coming this summer and who's coming, and then we'll talk about which one's your favorite, but we won't do that like publicly. You'll just whisper it in my ear.
Fair enough.
But maybe I'll leave the mic on.
I'll go public on that.
I love it.
I love all of our children.
I love you all the same. So what's coming on this summer that people should be checking out? What's going on?
Yeah, well, we always start our summer, generally speaking, on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And what it's been a tradition that predates the Green Music Center for years at Sonoma State, on the lawns and different places, a 4th of July fireworks spectacular.
Okay.
And we work with the Santa Rosa Symphony, and we work with Transcendence Theater.
Oh, great.
For the last few years. Transcendence has also been a part of it. So it's all very local artists and, our Sonoma County artists putting on a show that fits the 4th of July. And at the end of it, we try to get everybody outside. In fact, we have to get everybody outside. And we have a really great fireworks show that is shot off just from the other side of Weil Hall. So it's
your
like
backyard.
Super visceral. Yeah. From Andy's backyard. It's very visceral and like right
I got to run over there, make sure the fireworks are set.
Here, kids, how did Judith Fox? We're going.
Yep.
All right, so that starts July 4th, obviously, 4th of July fireworks spectacular at the Green Music Center. And then it's not Nickelback. I see Nickel Creek.
Yes, thank goodness, not Nickelback.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to throw too much shade at Nickelback.
On Nickelback?
They are a favorite to make fun of.
I know, poor Nickelback.
No doubt. But Nickel Creek is a personal favorite of mine. A great bluegrass band that Chris Thiele is one of the 3 members, as well as Sarah and Sean Watkins, siblings. And Chris Thiele has probably performed at the Green Music Center more than any other artist. Of like touring artists. Obviously some locals have done a heck of a lot more, but Chris is also in a band called Punch Brothers, which has been with us a number of times. He had a public radio show called Live From Here, which also did a live performance. He's quite a
talented musician.
He's one of the really inspiring,
like on that show, it was funny. He plays mandolin or something, and he would just play random weird music and then just go into a popular song right away, and it was neat.
No, Chris can play anything. I kind of, in some ways, don't believe a lot in talent, right? Like I think there's a lot of hard work and a lot of thinking and consideration that goes into being a great musician. And Chris is one of the rare exceptions where I'm like, oh no, that guy just like
talent
was like born to play the mandolin and to understand music, and it just flows through him in these unbelievable ways.
I see there's also a craft beer festival that same night. Does that mean people, you can have other breweries there?
We will have a variety of breweries there. It's a tradition that we've had one every year attached to one of our performances. So a wide variety, mostly Sonoma County breweries, but also from
Sonoma
other
County-ish.
places too.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. And, we're known for our wine, but I mean, in some ways, the beer is better, right?
It's a lot of good beer to make great wine.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, we've got Sonoma Springs down the street, but I mean, we have a beer, wine, and cider and spirits map that's just full of breweries and the cider houses and stuff. So, I mean, if they can turn grapes into wine, they can turn, barley and barley and malt. Yeah, marley and malt, whatever it's called. July 15th, I say Los Huracanes del Norte. This, I bet you, might be a Spanish language performance.
It is, and it's a Norteño band that's been around for decades. They had their first big hit in 1978. And
you were not born.
Andy was not born. I was very born at that point. But we've had at least one Norteño band every summer for a while now, popular. And it's super popular, super fun.
A lot of Norteño music on the airwaves here in Sonoma County, and probably a lot of places too.
Yep. So, you just hit that scan button, and you're like, oh, there we go.
There it is. And that's it's usually large bands. Sometimes an accordion is involved. There's guitars and songs of heartbreak and sadness and love, all the good stuff. I also see Pink Martini is coming.
Yeah, Pink Martini. I mean, they're a staple, everywhere, but I think, they play quite often around here. And we announced them actually maybe a month or so ago.
Those tickets already gone because those go
a lot are.
Yeah.
But everyone raves about them, and they sing songs in, I think, 22 different languages. The lead singer, China Forbes, is phenomenal. And last time they were here, they invited the audience on stage, so it was a wild time.
Were you like the operations people are like, not that many people on stage?
Yes, and I just danced right by them and did my part.
That's it is kind of funny because we do talk about the Green Music Center, Bach. It sounds it's a classic music hall. I was there for Las Cafeteras, and people are dancing. And it's like, yes, it's a beautiful, acoustically perfect hall, but it's fabulous for all types of music.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, it is beautiful for Western classical music and was designed with that in mind, but also has a remarkable sound system, and so we can put microphones on things and make them sound beautiful too. And we really want, one of the great things that we're able to do as a performing arts presenter is do so many different things, right? And it might even be that, like, this weekend ain't for you, right? But next weekend will be, right? And we try to really traffic in all of the beautiful multiple cultural traditions that are available to us and make our room work as best as it can for all of it.
And shout out to our production team too, because a lot of it, like we're saying, it's built for Western classical music. It's not always easy to make it sound great for a regional Mexican group.
You got to change around maybe how you're running the sound and stuff.
Yeah, there's all sorts of variables down to whether the curtains are up or down affects the sound. Okay. And they just do a stellar job to make it work in such a wide variety of different situations.
Hey, shout out to the AV nerds out there.
That's it.
And the stagecraft guys, and you guys might be all wearing black and running around in the background, but we see you and we appreciate it.
That's
it.
Chicago Blues, Buddy Guy, the Damn Right Farewell Tour.
Yeah,
I've seen Buddy Guy. He's great.
Yeah, he's another one everyone's been talking about, and I think he's one of those guys who's been around a while. He's 86 now, this is his farewell tour. And you talk to any of the most famous guitar players, Eric Clapton, and down the line, I know even Jimi Hendrix looked up to a Buddy Guy. He's the guy that's looked towards as kind of the torch bearer of guitar slingers in the blues. And we're thrilled to have him for his farewell tour, and he's still up there.
85, 86?
86.
Yeah.
Yep. He just played the place I used to work. I used to work at the University of Iowa.
Okay.
And he played there last week.
Oh, wow.
And I got a text after the show. I don't know if this is a story I should share or not, but I'm about to. That'll make it worth listening, right?
Here we go.
That Buddy Guy set the record for the most F-bombs dropped on that stage.
For real?
For real. And like Louis Black has played that stage, right? Like I started thinking about, who else might be in contention? And that he immediately came to mind.
At the University of Iowa?
At the University of Iowa.
Okay, because Iowa people are polite, but University of Iowa, isn't that when they have the Iowa Writers Workshops there and all those, all those smarty pants
we know how to
people.
use our vocabulary.
Your good words. All right, well, Kids Show Friday, August 4th. See if we can break the Iowa record with Buddy Guy.
I've presented him before, and I don't recall that being a particularly big part of
maybe
the
he was just
show,
really mad with Iowa.
But it was just,
maybe
who knows?
Maybe it's an Iowa issue.
Right? Well, and I presented him in Iowa, but in an outside street festival. So maybe he was cleaning up his act for the out of doors.
What? Speaking of the out of doors, Mountain Stage with Kathy Mattea.
Yeah, Kathy Mattea.
What's that?
Mountain Stage is a public radio show that's been produced by West Virginia Public Radio, my home folk.
Wait a minute.
For 40-some years.
We're doing like a crossover event?
We are.
A very special crossover event with WWV. What's the West Virginia?
WWVA, perhaps.
Is that really? That's not a real station, is it really?
I think that's what it used to be.
W Wheeling, the voice of Wheeling in the Allegheny Mountains. Okay, whatever. So tell me about Mountain Stage. And the
Mountain
crossover.
Stage, hosted by Kathy Mattea, who's a great country singer and songwriter from West Virginia. She's recently taken over the host duties from a legendary host, Larry Gross, who did it for 40 years. And it's a showcase for artists, essentially.
Okay.
And the format, it's a 2-hour show, Mountain Stage. They've recorded every Sunday. This is on a Sunday.
Great.
And usually in Charleston, West Virginia, but they're out on tour. So they're coming to California.
So they're taking it off the road before.
Yep.
Okay.
And they bring a house band. And so Kathy will do some songs with some, like, the greatest musicians in West Virginia, legendary locals there. And also then there's 4 additional groups that will be announced that are based on opportunity, right? Like who's around, who's touring, who can we get?
Who's got a mandolin in the audience? Come on up here.
And they get crazy good people.
Really?
Right? Like, yeah, and a wide variety of things.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're excited to learn who their guests will be, but it's a beautiful show, and I always love listening to it, and I've seen it recorded a number of times over the years.
I should probably listen to it. I'm sure it's online. I can hear it.
It is online,
somewhere.
absolutely.
On the Voice of Charleston, West Virginia.
Exactly, and it is also carried by many different public radio outlets, including North Bay Public Media.
I think we should offer West Virginian food. What, Jacob, would be a typical West Virginia food?
Ramps are out of season. I don't know if folks are hip to ramps. Ramps are in season right now. It's a garlic-ish sort of vegetable.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
ramps.
big ramp
That's the thing we eat in West Virginia. We eat
stink
ramps.
up a town.
Well, they have like the garlic festival.
Right? Like
Gilroy.
yes, exactly. Like it's got a similar smelly vibe to the garlic festival.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe we'll offer authentic ramp cuisine.
Yeah, we'll see what
like
we can
fried
do.
ramps, ramp
You've
ice cream.
inspired me to go back to the chef and see what they can whip up.
Very good. Let's see. Let's Lonely Boys. Are they local to California? Because I hear them a lot on the radio.
They're from Texas. They come out of San Angelo, Texas. And they call their music sort of Texican is a word they use.
I hear a lot of their music here, so I didn't know. Okay.
You remember their big hit, Heaven.
Yeah.
It's, was a huge hit. And they're bringing a couple other groups with them with a similar kind of rock, maybe. Like, how would you describe it? Like I
think a little more of an R&B even.
Yeah.
They're from Southern California, from like LA and Bakersfield.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sinceres and the Altons. And it's really interesting sort of pop.
That'll be fun.
Mix of many different musics.
I always think of Bakersfield now. I don't know why I think of rockabilly, but I know Buck Owens is from there. There's a museum down there, but I don't know what's the Bakersfield sound. A lot of Western at the time, but hold on. Oh gosh, this is like a very long concert that will be in out of order, and then people will complain about it because you're not listening to the right way. Music from all 9 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Wait, all 9?
We're not showing all 9, but it's music.
That's like
and we're not playing all the music from all 9.
Yeah. Jeez, guys. So this is from the Santa Rosa Symphony.
Yep.
And they're coming to do music selections from the Star Wars movies.
That's right.
They are. It's sort of an idea from Francesco Lecce Chong, their music director.
Thank you for actually pronouncing that name because I've been mispronouncing it now the entire time. Thank you.
There you go. He's a very enthusiastic, and he's a great musician. And Francesco is taking selections from all 9 of the Skywalker saga. I know we've gotten in some debates with some like serious people who know stuff.
Hey, Star Wars
all 9 movies.
Star Wars
nerds.
There's
more than that, right?
What
about Rogue One?
I know.
I lost that.
The Star Wars nerds are they're everywhere.
Yep.
And the best thing they love to do is argue about Star Wars.
Yep.
So we agree with every one of your viewpoints.
Exactly.
Right. Because the universe is so big, there's space for them.
And you'll recognize all of these tunes because it's excerpts of all the stuff that I'm starting to hum right now.
Who's that famous conductor who did Jaws?
Well, John Williams.
John Williams.
It's almost entirely all all of it's written by John Williams.
He did like E.T. too. Huh?
Yep,
Okay.
the greatest Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Like the greatest film composer ever.
He basically
Easily.
did the score for our childhood.
right?
Yeah, Jurassic
Yeah,
Park.
every summer.
Yep.
I can like taste
A
the
new
popcorn
John
right now.
Williams
Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So this will be great. Okay, so it's at 7:30,
And we're costume contests.
Oh, so we can dress up in costume.
Yep, all of that.
but not Jar Jar Binks.
well,
You dress
know,
him as Jar Jar Binks.
No, but then people are gonna hate you. That's
right?
Star Wars
And we'll
people.
boo you.
That's not canon. Like, it was in the movie. Okay.
Got to rethink my costume now.
Okay. And then looks like closing it out. You got Kool and the Gang.
Yeah, we're thrilled about Kool and the Gang, and everyone knows Celebration, but they just have a string of hits that if you don't know them, you'd know them if you heard them. You
Right.
got Ladies' Night, Get Down on It.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
Okay.
And Kool is still in the band.
Okay.
So look for Kool.
And the gang is also there.
And the rotating band of the gang.
Someone was asking me, well, is it the original people? I said, Kool's there.
You know, that's the clever way to do a band. Is just like have them keep rotating through, right?
Yeah.
You never know. I did see another one here. I'm sorry. I think it's September 23rd and 24th. It looks like a big super band here, or different groups called Global Roots Sonoma.
Yeah, that's a new festival we're introducing over 2 days, and it will have multiple stages, 4 stages, including our 2 indoor stages, but also a couple of constructed outdoor stages.
Very cool.
And food from around the world, a wide variety of musical traditions represented, including, you mentioned Las
Las
Cafeteras.
Cafeteras, yeah.
That will be sort of the
They are
headliner there
okay,
on Saturday.
People who are listening,
right?
we went there. Robert and Susie, thanks for bringing me. Robert Montez lives up in Cloverdale. He saw them playing up at Cloverdale Farmers Market when they were smaller.
Right.
And there's like this, like, I don't know what it's called, like hang out in the parking lot of Cloverdale Festival. And so I started following these guys. And then he says, they're going to Green Music Center. You got to come. I'm like, well, okay. He goes, no, I'm buying you tickets. It's for my birthday. And we went, and we had such a good time. As a matter of fact, we had such a good time, we ended up in a Green Music Center commercial because my neighbors said, I saw you dancing on TV. I'm like, I certainly do not dance on TV. And then it turned out.
I know
He
exactly
knows
what you're talking about.
Andy created that commercial.
And my neighbor's like, no, you really were. Like, next time I saw a commercial, I'm like, I am on TV. So you're welcome.
good.
Yeah,
Second of all, check the back of your ticket. Look at the
Right?
rights.
You signed that away. Trust me.
But they were so much fun and so good and so inventive, and the percussion and the dancing, and they really got you going, and I had a good time. So I'm sure if they're coming and they're part of this group, it's going to be a fantastic festival.
Yeah.
They'll kind of wrap up the day Saturday, and we also have a spin-off from Las Cafeteras, Tia Leah's Neighborhood. Tia Leah used to be a member of Las Cafeteras, and now
Okay.
she has a whole children's family
cool.
thing she does. So there'll be stuff for the whole family, and there's
Okay.
a wonderful mariachi band, Mariachi Herencia de Mexico.
We have good
that's coming.
mariachis in this area.
We do.
We have a lot of them.
There's a lot of mariachi, absolutely.
I heard mariachi out of my window the other day, and I thought it was coming from a wedding venue down the street from me
Yep.
because I live up in Windsor. It was actually my neighbors who had a mariachi in their house for like a birthday party.
Yep.
And I acted like I was walking my dog. I wasn't. I just listened to them. They were fantastic. And they're like, oh, they're just some friends that we know. So we have a lot of good mariachi music.
Absolutely. And I've had that experience in my neighborhood too. Like if it was a graduation party or something, like, whoa, they got a big band going over
Right.
there. Yep.
That's fun.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah, and that band is also joined by the guest star La Marisol.
Okay.
La Marisol is the lead singer for a band called La Santa Cecilia and is remarkable. I saw her recently on a 49ers game. You remember the 49ers played in Mexico City
Yes.
this year?
Yes.
La Marisol, who lives in L.A., she sang the U.S. national anthem
went down
before
there to
that
do it.
game.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
That
cool.
was her gig because she's
Wait,
just amazing.
Did you go down? You didn't go down to Mexico City?
No,
to
I
watch
did
it.
not.
Okay.
I watched it on television. I was like, I know her. And like bands from, we have some Scottish music, some hip hop from Belgium,
Okay.
a Colombian band that also lives in New York, Balsa de Fuego.
Okay.
And a great Hawaiian musician. That's another person I should mention, Paula Fuga, who's like an Hawaiian R&B singer who has worked a lot with Jack Johnson, and Jack Johnson
Okay.
is one of her like big supporters.
Okay.
She's great.
So this is a 2-day music festival, September 23rd and 24th. I'm assuming, do they buy a ticket to the whole weekend, or how does that work?
You can pick a day.
Okay.
You can buy a weekend package. There are
Right.
also VIP packages available. Our annual fundraising event, Party for the Green, has had lots of different iterations over the years, and this year it's the after party for this festival on Saturday. So the artists will be there, and it'll be a great, lots of cool
Hey,
food.
everyone, go buy tickets now before I buy them all.
It's going to be really, really wonderful, and we're hopeful that it will become an annual thing of sort of connecting Sonoma County to the globe.
Okay. Now, so here you got classical music. You've got Bach. You've got amazing outdoor events, 4th of July. What if, though, I don't like doing that stuff, or I want something else? What if I want my kids to stop watching movies on a 3-inch screen in front of them? I want them to see movies the way God intended when God invented MGM Studios. No, so how do I do? Are there any movie sort of nights out there?
There are movie nights.
Oh, tell me about that.
You're in luck.
What?
Just
what
so happens.
How'd you guess?
Tell me about this.
Yeah, so we got some movie nights. We call it Movies at the Green, where we show movies on a big screen at the back of Weil Hall. Okay. So you sit on the lawn. It's $5 per person. Kids 12 and under are free, and SSU students are free. If any
okay,
SSU
I got to be
students
honest. You guys are pretty bad at making money here, because that is a really good price. $5 and kids 12 and under are free.
Yeah.
Yes.
And SSU students are free.
Yep.
Go Seawolves.
And one of the main reasons it cost anything is that includes your parking. Right?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of the, I'll just
Yeah.
the stuff what we're showing, Wakanda Forever, the new Black Panther movie.
I haven't seen that one yet, so I'll go see that one.
Yeah.
Good.
And then Frozen and Frozen 2, we're doing a double feature there. You laugh. Is that?
I'm just laughing because I don't know if I've seen Frozen 2 or
Yeah.
not. Like even
Oh, well,
more
you gotta
Frozen.
see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So my kids are a little too like they're old enough for
Okay,
Frozen and
yeah.
they kind of aged out. But I'm sure it's great.
Okay. How about next? Is this more in your wheelhouse? We have Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
My favorite part of Top Gun Maverick is it's Top Gun. Again, Tom Cruise has not gotten older,
Yeah.
but it's also Star Wars. The first Star Wars, which was, as we know, it's the third Star Wars,
Right.
the fourth Star Wars, or whatever the heck it
Yeah.
was. But I love this. This is great. The double Top Gun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You're doing a lot of double headers here.
Yeah,
double
that's
features.
right.
Okay,
Yeah. Then Cars and Cars 2.
that's up my alley too. That's a funny. Those Cars was great.
Cars.
Very
Yeah.
creative.
Really, really good.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then last we have I think it's still in theaters, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
The current one.
The current one, not to be confused.
Not with the trippy 1989
Yeah,
one.
not that one.
John Leguizamo was in that. Okay, so Super Mario Bros. Movie is still in theaters. And okay, so
Yeah.
you don't need Netflix. You just need the Green Music Center
Yeah.
to kind of go check that stuff
Yeah,
out.
and those are really wonderful afternoons. They start at 5. And oftentimes, I mean, we'll see lots of different types of people there. One of the things that's always interesting to me are the families who show up.
Right.
And like a whole 6 birthday party will come.
Oh,
so there's
that's
like
right.
3 adults and a dozen 6-year-olds, and they're carrying like 4 pizza boxes, right? And maybe
awesome.
some bubbles, right,
That's
to play with
fantastic.
later.
Yeah, I
so
love that
like
idea.
those parents are like
They know
teaching
how
the
to do it.
master class.
They know
right?
how to do it.
That is like all these kids are free. They're paying $5 a piece.
That's right.
And they bought a bunch of Little
Well,
Caesars. They got like $60 wrapped up in this
Let me
whole
tell you
shebang.
something.
It's so smart.
As a child of the 80s, have you remember going back to Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
kind of terrifying when you think about it.
They
So
are.
This is probably better.
This is
right.
no weird.
Yeah, animatronic rat
beast
that like smokes a cigar. What were they teaching? Chuck E. Cheese smokes a cigar. The rat does. And it was a rat, by the way.
It absolutely a rat.
I mean,
We don't want to
look
throw
at
too
it.
much shade at Chuck E. Cheese. I think we still have one in Rodert Park.
which we love.
Yes. Yeah.
Rotor Park one's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. I mean, it's the guys. When people want to get tickets and stuff like that, where do they find information? I'm sure there's a website or someplace for
Yeah,
that.
it's gmc.sonoma.edu.
And that's because you're sponsored by a car company?
No.
Oh, it's Green,
It's Green Music Center, that's right.
gmc.cinema.edu.
Yeah. Or you can call our box office at 707-664-4246.
Perfect. Before we move on to other things here, I do have to ask, you guys both work for a music hall in the music industry. Do either one of you play music? Like actual instruments, but not like, you know what I do.
We
Spotify.
both do. I play trumpet and a little bit of piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Andy has a recent record out. I don't know if we're allowed to talk
That's
about
not true.
it. That's
It's
totally
true.
true.
Wait, are you serious? A
when did you
record?
do it? Like 2 or 3
Wait,
years
what?
ago?
Yeah.
But shut up.
It was a pandemic thing.
You made a
You
CD.
actually recorded a CD?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
bring one?
No, I did not bring one, but
This would be like one of the rare times I could afford the right. I'm
Right,
assuming
you
it's for the
can-
right
assuming-
podcast.
right.
absolutely, yeah.
You'll sign over the rights.
I know. For real.
Yeah,
You recorded
it's fine.
original. Is it original music?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great.
I have a little,
Andy?
it's a normal sized Fender Rhodes that I like a lot. It's an electric
Really?
piano for those who don't know. So I got that, and just some instruments.
Okay.
and-
I did not know that.
yeah.
This isn't like we're like, do you play music? Like, no. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I just happen to have my trumpet right here.
No, it's not one of those situations.
Okay, because that's the way it is.
But Jacob
I was trying
also
to think
plays instruments.
if I like had Andy's like record and I ripped it.
Do you have like on Spotify or something like that, or was it like a SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Are you on Spotify?
Yep.
What's the name it's under?
Andy Shepherd. There's no
Spell your last name. People have to Google it. Spell your last name.
Shepherd, like the real shepherd,
like the shepherd, like the shepherd. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, that's really cool, man.
Isn't that great?
Thank you. Yeah.
How many songs did you record?
I got 10 on it.
Before your wife started yelling in the bathroom, we need to get in there. That's not the recording studio.
See, that's one of the benefits of being on campus so much. I can use those practice rooms. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, so the art we should talk about. There's a whole wing near Schrader's Hall or something. Schrader.
It's the music education building, but we do have Schroeder Hall, which is named after the Peanuts character.
Right. Thank you. Sorry. That there are these music rooms where kids who are learning violin and stuff like that can go practice.
Yeah, and without getting too sidetracked, I will say when I went to school at Sonoma State, I had the old practice rooms in the old music building. That's very dank. And
where is that now?
It's still there, but
is it?
These practice rooms are very nice. And
I took a tour when they were being built. I'm like, I would love like an office like this. This is beautiful, like an apartment. So, okay, and do you play music, sir?
I do, and I managed to find Andy's record on my phone. Help Along the Way.
Help Along the Way.
Andy Shepherd.
There I am.
There you go.
That's on Spotify?
This is on Apple Music, but it's also on Spotify.
It's on.
How about that?
He's multi-platform.
It's on all the platforms that you want to be on. If I play that on Spotify, do you make like a penny or something like that, or
like a quarter of a
I'll
penny.
put it on repeat then. For
right, just like let it play for a few days. Give the man a nickel.
God, that's what it is. Like, hey kids, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jacob, do you play any music?
I do. I have 2 degrees in playing the saxophone.
Wait, you can get a degree in saxophone?
You sure can. You can get multiple degrees.
What?
In
I
playing
thought
the
you just got to be down on your luck and sad playing the blues.
Nope.
Really?
Yep. That's what I studied. And Andy has a music degree too. Yep.
Hold on, you guys are working with your degrees.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I got to be honest. When I go to work, I haven't written a single sonnet, not once. So an English degree, philosophy has not served me well. But this is amazing. All right, so you play saxophone too, and then do you guys play currently in bands and stuff like that, or just like playing like just doing your thing?
Well, you'll do gigs.
You really? So you
very rarely.
People can see you perform.
I don't have anything on the calendar.
But if people want to book you, Jacob,
I don't. I used to before I moved here. I was in a band and worked a lot. I'm an unreliable band member.
What kind of music
I work
were you
a lot
playing?
of stuff. I mean, I've mostly made a living playing jazz saxophone.
Okay.
When I was doing that for a living. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
You played with the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
I lived on a bus for a year.
Yeah.
Played in the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Wow.
He has a
I
Glenn
got
Miller
the CD
right
here.
there. Yes,
that's so
I
funny.
played
really.
all of those numbers every night for a year.
Chattanooga choo choo, take me a train. You're like,
all
Tim,
of that.
stop saying that. You're suffering.
I also was in the 5-person vocal group that Glenn Miller always had.
Really?
So I'd put my horn down and go and sing the high male parts on Chattanooga Choo Choo in particular.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
They paid me an extra $50 a week to learn those songs. It's true.
But then they're like, but guess what? You know what, hey, Yarrow, you're costing us $100 in food, so you owe us $50. Welcome to music economics.
Yeah, as if they were giving us any food.
Jeez. That's cool. So you were on the road working, and then Andy, were you ever on the road as a musician, or were you more like?
Just as a student musician, I was fortunate through the Monterey Jazz Festival to go to Japan a couple times.
That's cool.
They do a county all-star band, and then I with the Sonoma State Wind Ensemble, I went to Italy when I was a student. So yeah, I've been very fortunate. A lot of good music education opportunities.
Wait, were you in a marching band as a kid?
Yes, I was definitely
down in Monterey County. Is that what it was?
Salinas High.
Go.
Cowboys.
Finding lettuce growers. Okay. Cowboys.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry. I knew it was something.
It's not.
That's Steinbeck country.
That's
Come
right.
on. You're killing me. All right. And guys, I should also mention that in addition to, of course, Green Music Center, we have a lot of wonderful venues in and around Sonoma Valley, from small, we have the Sonoma Speakeasy here. We have the amphitheater. We're going to do some live music here in the summer. Then there's bigger venues. And so you guys are part of a huge a pretty big universe of performing arts.
Yep. The arts and culture scene in Sonoma County is really remarkable.
Yeah.
And particularly right now, as we're pandemic, right? That was enormously disruptive to public events.
Yeah, it was awful.
People, right?
Yeah.
What we've really been trying to push to people is go do things.
Yeah.
Right? Like get out and do it. Think about verbs, not nouns, right? Like we need to do things, not get things.
Right. I was English major. Why'd you steal that from me?
Oh, there. Sorry about that. I'll do some more parts of speech bits later. But that we want people to go out and do things.
Right.
Do our things, please, but do everybody's things,
just go
right?
out there and do
like, because I think we're all out of the habit,
right?
To some degree. I know I go out less than I did. I got lots of good stuff on my phone and Netflix, right? Like, but being out with real people, do it safely and make sure you feel comfortable about it, right?
Okay.
But it's an important thing to do right now, and the artists that we work with really need the help.
They do. They've got to pay the bills. And
Word.
Just getting $50 a week for the vocal parts isn't working.
Right? That isn't doing it, Chattanooga choo-choo.
All right, you guys, we're going to do the part of the podcast where you help me answer questions from the visitors. Here how it works.
All right.
We have 2 visitor centers. People call and ask us questions. They text us, blah, blah, blah. We call this We Get Questions. Are you ready?
We'll try to give some
I hope so.
answers and even some correct answers, perhaps.
Here we go. So this question came in today. We're going to a winery. Can we just get a glass of wine or buy a bottle instead of doing a full tasting?
Oh, I know the answer to that.
You do?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
Almost without exception.
Right.
You have lots of options when you go to a winery.
Right.
And if you're like, I would like a bottle of this right now,
right.
They'll be like, you got it.
Very rarely will they not sell you wine.
Exactly. Would you like another?
So that's great. You're hired.
Is that a softball question?
What are you talking about? No, that was a hard question. Well, it's funny because people often come here and let's say they're from West Virginia and they don't do a lot of wine tasting. And they might drink wine, but like wine tasting, they might not know the protocol. And they've probably seen it's so fancy.
Right.
And, you gotta be all proper. It's like, no, you're going there with friends, you're chilling. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, if you just want to buy a bottle, just buy a bottle. If you're like, you walk in there and you're like, you know what, I really like Zinfandel. Boom.
Right. Give me a big glass of that.
That's it. We're done. So you don't have to. I mean, obviously, if you're booking a tasting, they've slotted 90 minutes for you to do a tasting. But otherwise, most wineries have the option. Some, depending on their license, can't do too many by the glass, but almost all of them offer something like that. So yeah. So
and I've been in lots of situations where there's like a tasting room and a proper place to do the tasting, right?
Right.
But then there's like chairs over in the yard,
Correct.
right? In a beautiful little location where they don't have to pay much attention to you, and
Correct.
You're fine to go over and just chat and enjoy a glass.
That's right. And matter of fact, here in Sonoma, in the plaza, and we've mentioned this before, you can actually drink wine in our plaza. And there are oftentimes musicians, maybe sometimes a trumpeter, who will show up and they'll play. And it's fine as long as you're behaving yourself.
Right.
You can do it. So here's a good one. And this is open. I know you guys are just over the hill from Sonoma Valley and Roanoke Park, or the Ropo. So you can answer wherever you want. But where is a good place for breakfast?
Ooh.
You can't say your house because people are going to show up. Yeah, where's a good place for breakfast? It can be anywhere. Like, you want to get some breakfast? I've got one if I'm going to say it.
I have one, but I can't remember the name. It's right on the square. I've had great breakfast
here in
there.
Sonoma?
On the Sonoma Square.
Does it rhyme with Sunflower Cafe?
It does. The Sunflower Cafe.
Good. Oh, you're amazing. The Sunflower Cafe. That place is good.
It's very good.
Historic building. A lot of fresh smoothies, salads, sandwiches. Also, just really good breakfast foods.
Yep.
And
Good old
like
biscuit.
Biscuit. Oh, you would know.
Out in the courtyard.
Yeah, it's good
Yep.
stuff. What's a West Virginia breakfast? I know I'm acting like it's a foreign country, but what's this place? It's not East Virginia. It's not South Virginia. It's West Virginia.
Not too different than lots of American breakfasts, but there's definitely a certain amount of red-eye gravy and biscuits that would be a thing. in
Red-eye
West-
gravy?
which is sausage gravy.
That sounds delicious.
You probably heard a little bit of an accent come through there.
You did that.
Red-eye gravy.
Little red-eye gravy. Good job. What, you got any other breakfast recommendations?
So clarify for me, is it just Sonoma Valley?
No,
or?
it can be anywhere. I've got one in Roanoke Park I'll recommend to you.
Okay. Well, what's your recommendation, Roanoke Park?
Have you been to Chila Killer Cafe yet?
No.
Haha. Chila Killer Cafe is fantastic. It's like Chilaquiles, but Chila and then Killer. It's a little bit off. It's like, I don't know the street, but it's like where like you're adjacent to the freeway and the road bends around and there's that roundabout everyone complains about, and you go around there and it's in like a strip mall and it's good. Do you like that? That was my description of it. I'm sure you can find it.
Sounds great. Yeah. I love Chili Killies. That sounds great.
It's really good food and run by a nice family, and it's like both American, Mexican, and then it's kind of wine country. Awesome stuff. Why? What do you got?
Well, mine is maybe it's out of the way, but whenever someone asks me my favorite breakfast spot, I always say Howard's Cafe in Occidental. That's
Great
the
spot.
place to go.
Yeah, that's a good one. And you got a little bit of a drive, kind of adventure.
It's it's a pretty drive.
You're in this beautiful valley.
Yeah.
And it's like, it looks like, some people say it's like New England. Some people say, it's that little forested, and there's these evergreen trees, like calm redwoods. And it's really pretty. So, okay. Ready for another question?
Let's do it.
Is Conan O'Brien in Sonoma today?
No. I mean, that's a guess, but it seems more likely not.
Yeah, like, right? No.
I haven't seen him.
These are questions people ask you?
Yes. These are questions.
Yeah, I would venture to guess he's not.
Well, you're both wrong, because Conan O'Brien he was at Picasso Cafe getting a burger yesterday.
Like, he didn't call me or anything.
I know. I was like, and he has a
friends.
podcast. He could have been, we have an extra microphone. What a jerk. That guy's a jerk. Anyway, yeah, I guess he's in Sonoma today. And I feel comfortable saying that because by the time I have this edited up, he'll be gone.
He'll be long gone.
He'll be back to wherever Conan's from, which I think is LA, but really Boston or whatever. So these are questions we get. People walk up and ask us these questions.
I love it.
Okay, so you ready for the next question? Why is D minor so sad?
Ooh.
It's so sad, right?
It is so sad.
Yeah.
People just drop by the tourism office.
Yeah,
They do. People like, I was walking by and I had a music theory question. D minor, so sad. And they asked me that. So, okay, maybe they didn't ask me that one. Maybe I heard that on the radio today.
I'm playing D minor scales like on my fingers.
Yeah. What? So, can you explain what that means? What a D minor? When I say that, what does that mean? It's not a chord. It's a.
I mean, it's a D minor is a key.
A key,
right?
Okay. What does that mean?
A key is essentially the tonal center of something that you're like of a whole piece. Sometimes they'll shift around, but like a song is probably in a key.
Okay.
And it has a base tonal center that it begins from and departs from and is built around.
Okay.
So it might get way the heck away from it, but probably comes back to it.
Okay.
Right? And so all 12 notes that exist in sort of Western music so you can have D minor, you can have D flat minor.
Okay.
Probably more likely C sharp minor, which is the same thing. But E minor, like there's minor and major keys are the main things in that sort of cataloging of music. And D minor goes like this. Okay. As I do a very visual podcast.
He's playing like a clarinet or like
exactly.
alto.
And I played harmonic minor as I was doing that.
And I've heard that songs oftentimes played in D minor are equated with a sad or ponderous mood.
Yep.
Right.
And generally minor is considered to be on the sad and major feels a little more bright and uplifting.
See? Music theory. Look at you guys. You're amazing.
That's what a bunch of music degrees will do for you.
And the keys are one thing, but I will add that you can have a D minor chord in a lot of different instances, and it's not always, depending on how you play it,
it's not
always going to be.
This is, unfortunately, I went to a second webpage because I was trying to understand what the heck they were talking about. And they said, well, Beyonce had a song with D minor, and it was actually quite poppy. It just depends on, and they put in a bunch of words. I didn't know them. And then I had to print this out and come here, so I didn't have time to look. But evidently Beyonce used D minor. You guys are wonderful. You have passed the test. I mean, what are the odds people ask me music theory questions at the visitor center? But it happens. It happens. Again, from the Green Music Center, if people have more questions, where should they go to get information?
gmc.sonoma.edu.
Okay, and that's the Green Music Center, so gmc.sonoma.edu.
That's right.
And tickets are now on sale not only for the summer season, but I believe people can also get subscriptions for the winter season. Is that right?
Not quite.
Eventually?
We're announcing that.
May 23rd.
Okay. Yeah. So, by the time you listen to this, there's always a good time to go to gmc.sonoma.edu and get stuff there. So, hey, guys, thank you for stopping by. You've been fantastic. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
and if you guys are listening, the rest of you listening to this podcast, if you are listening and you want more great things like the Green Music Center, go to SonomaValley.com. Look out deals, offers, special events, Also, why don't you take a quick moment and subscribe to this podcast and give it a good rating and tell your friends about it. And that's all there is to that. So everyone, thanks for listening. Andy, Jacob, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
See you guys later. Thanks. Bye.